Hello friends, today we're going to learn more about Git. I'm going to continue on the previous video. On the agenda today, we're going to be installing Git. We're going to verify the installation and we're going to set up Git. The reason why I'm saying learning Git the right way, as you can see here, it is because a lot of learning institutions or a lot of companies, they have what we call sandboxes. This is actually on the website, on their website, where you are able to access Git resources without having to really download it on your machine. So what we're going to do, we're going to download it on our machine. We're going to install it, verify the installation, and set it up in order for us to be able to do what we spoke about on the previous video, which is create files, edit those files, add things to those files, and commit, rather save those files. Now, when it comes to installing Git, there's actually a number of ways how we can actually do it. You can actually go to github.com. I'm going to leave the link on the description, where you will be able to install Git. For Windows, you will be able to install Git on Mac and on Linux. So for Linux and Mac, they're actually similar. You just have to open the terminals and run certain commands. For Ubuntu Linux, you just have to run this sudo app -get install git all, or you can Fedora. Under Fedora, the only difference is the DNF. Then on Mac OS, you also have to open up the terminal window and just type in the command brew install git. Then Git will be installed. The only different one here is actually Windows, which is what I'm using. You have to have Git bash, and how you can go about having Git bash over here is actually installing Git, and you're gonna click over here and you can actually download it and install it. After downloading it and installing it, this is what you're going to have, and this is where we are going to run our commands. This is where we're going to create files, delete files, do a lot of work on the terminal. So once it's installed, just click on Git bash, or just go on to search and search Git bash. So that is where that is the terminal that we're going to be using in order for us to run the commands. Alright, so once your Git bash has been installed and you have opened it, this is what you should be able to see, and this is where we're going to be running most of our commands. And you should be able to see the user's name over here, and over here it's my name because I'm the one that's logged on. So the very first thing, as I said, we're going to verify the installation, and you can do this on Linux and Mac OS and over here on Windows. On Windows is quite obvious because we just installed it. We're just verifying that we installed it, but mostly the verification is for Linux and Mac OS, but let us do it as well. So to verify, you're going to say git -v, and this actually shows us the git version that you've just installed, or you can run this command for the same purpose, git -version. It also shows the same. And to clear your screen, you can just type in clear and enter, or you can just hold Control L. So if I do that, then I hold Control L, it still clears, but usually I just love saying clear. Then let us just access Git help, just for us to gain more information about Git, right? Usually over here, this is where it shows us some commands. As you can see, git clone, which we're going to learn about, git init, add, move, restore, remove. There's quite a number of them. You can just go through them and learn a bit more about them. So now that we have actually verified the installation, we're going to set it up, and it's very important for us to set it up, or rather configure it, so we have the right information about ourselves. So we're going to run git config -- global, and then we're gonna set our username user.name. Then I'm gonna put in my name, which is this, then enter. Then we're gonna run the same command, but now we're putting in our email address, email, and there you go, @gmail.com. Then we're gonna run the same command, but now we're putting in the command line for coloring output, which is color.ui auto. Enter. So the git config actually has a lot of commands that we can run. So you're just gonna type git config and just check. There's quite a number of them, of the commands that you can actually run over here. One of them is list, right? Which is -l or -list, which means list all. And we're just gonna run that now, just for us to see what's going on. Git config -l. So this command actually shows us what we just did at the moment. What we just did, we set up our username and our email, right? Remember the color as well, right? And then all of this information is auto-created, so you don't really have to worry about it. So let me just clear my screen. Now, we did the verification, we did the setup. Now we're going to do the actual work. So you verified that you've installed Git, you know that you have, and you've actually taken care of who's using this Git, which is yourself, and you configured it in actual fact. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do what we spoke about on the previous video, which is those steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we're going to gradually go in as we move. So the first thing what we're going to do here, we're going to create a working directory. Remember I said step 1, we're creating a working directory. And we're going to create a working directory on our desktop. So if you click CD, what CD means, means change directory. This is what this command means. So if I type it as it is and I press enter, it takes me to the original. It takes me to the home file, right? So if I say change directory to desktop, as you can see, it has taken me to desktop. And this is exactly where I want to go, because this is where I'm going to create my directory. And how we make directory is we're going to say mk, which is make, dir, which is directory, and I'm going to make this directory. Actually, before we make the directory, let us see something, right? On desktop here, let us say ls. ls stands for list. So I want to see what are the things that are available on my desktop at the moment. And what I'm saying is I have this app, this app, this app, this app, and this. These are the things that I have on my desktop at the moment. So I'm going to make a directory. Directory actually just means a folder. I'm going to make a directory under this name, and then enter. Now when I click ls, let us see what's gonna happen. There it is. We just created a directory. But then this directory is just a file. It's not really recognized by Git. It's just a file. So what we're going to do here, remember I spoke about this on the previous video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out first, because everything here is actually going to be referring to the previous video. On the previous video, we spoke about Git Init command. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to turn this file that we just created, this one, into a Git, right? We're going to initialize it, and we're going to turn it into a Git in order for us to be able to work on it. But in order for us to turn it into a Git, we need to go in it. So we need to use the cd command and just go in this, you type it in this directory. Then as you can see on desktop, I am inside the Petrus himself directory. Now this is where we're going to initialize this directory. And how we're going to do that, we're going to type in git init command. Then you'll see what it will say here. It says initialized empty git repository. So what this means is Petrus himself now is a Git repository. We can be able to work on it. And we'll be able to do a lot of things in it. We can put files in there, push them to the staging, push them to commit, and ultimately push it to GitHub. But we're going to do all of those things in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more videos.